Here we go. Do you think Bedtime MMA beats MMA Shea in a fight? I don't know. Until I see it, I honestly have no clue. I know that they're both talking about fighting each other. I want to see it. Maybe I'll fight the winner.
Robert Whittaker in the rematch at UFC 2.
Okay, so basically what I was doing was this is the issue with this video. Like, I'm talking to the camera with the mindset of, okay, just make it, like, not make it seem, but just show your knowledge of MMA. Just talk about this fight the way that you would talk about a fight with your friend. But what you really should be doing is you should be talking in a way that can captivate an audience that doesn't know who you are and doesn't care about what you have to say. Like, I think a part of me was like, all right, just as long as you don't fuck up, you can't fuck up.
71 on February.
But I wasn't being myself in this video.
12th, and I'm going to give my prediction and breakdown for this fight and my betting recommendations. So we know that Israel Adesanya knocked out Robert Whittaker in their first fight back in 2019. And, I think we're going to see a really different fight. Robert Whittaker basically came in there and threw the kitchen sink at Israel Adesanya.
He did. Yo, I was making some good points. Audio is terrible. I know, because I was filming it on like a regular camera. That's how we all started with the laptop microphone. Exactly. But this wasn't even the laptop. This was actually like a decent microphone attached to my camera, but again, like, just not this type of microphone, not a good one. And again, instead of just being myself, thinking about, all right, as long as I don't fuck up, that's kind of what's on my mind.
Basically showed him all of his striking tools in the first 4 minutes and got knocked out with relative ease against a counter striker with incredible kickboxing credentials.
Ooh, but I was a little bit wrong there, because Adesanya doesn't have the most incredible kickboxing credentials, to be honest.
Like Israel Adesanya.
People speak about Adesanya like he's this 50-time glory kickboxing champ, but he wasn't. He was a decent kickboxer, though.
I think we're going to see a completely different fight this time. Going into that first fight, Robert Whittaker felt like he didn't get enough respect as a defending champion. He had just coming off of a war with Yoel Romero and saw this guy, Israel Adesanya, getting all this credit. This newcomer got an interim belt. And, I think he had a massive chip on his shoulder, and he wanted to prove a point that, I'm the top dog. Why is this guy getting all this respect? I think he came into that fight with a lot of emotion. Israel Adesanya capitalized, fought like he was the veteran, fought like he was the returning champion, and kind of just picked apart Robert Whittaker. But I think since...
Where was your surfer? You look like the surfer, bro? That's pretty interesting.
Robert Whittaker has basically destroyed 3 of the top middleweights in the world. He easily...
Right, let's get into deep waters. Let's see if I start heating up. Let's see if I start cooking.
Them at the right time, and don't get me wrong, Whittaker has incredible wrestling. I mean, he almost went to the Olympics. He went to the Commonwealth Games.
That's real. That's a real hardcore take. That's a real hardcore take. People stumbling on this channel will be like, "Who is this guy? This guy must have been watching UFC for 2 weeks." And then I come out with Whittaker almost went to the Commonwealth Games. You know that's hardcore right there.
And on the level of technicality, he's probably the best MMA wrestler that Israel Adesanya's ever fought. Yoel Romero is a silver medalist in freestyle wrestling, but that's different than MMA wrestling.
Hey, I know they're not the Olympic Games, but I said he almost went. If you go to the Commonwealth Games and you win that, that's a big thing.
Whittaker is a better technical wrestler than Jan Blachowicz.
Easily. Hardcore take, man. Because the thing is, the casuals are like, Whittaker's got a good takedown defense, but that Whittaker takedown offense is slick. Whittaker can take down anyone. Whittaker's takedowns are awesome.
Even though Jan Blachowicz was able to take down Adesanya, I think that was mainly due to his physical attributes and shooting at the right time. So the path to victory...
This is literally fucking talking to myself. Exactly. That's the issue. Like, the energy that I have is, this is just me talking to myself to display my own knowledge of MMA rather than like talking to people, that don't know who I am.
Victory for Whittaker is hard. He has to be perfect. I think that Whittaker, if he wins, is going to have to win via decision. He's going to have to be patient on the feet. He's going to have to mix in the wrestling. And he's going to have to take Adesanya down in the middle of the cage and land strikes on the ground. He has great ground game, but I don't see him getting a finish over Israel Adesanya. Israel Adesanya, I think, likely, I think he'll win via decision, 48-47, 3 rounds to 2. But if anyone does get a finish in this fight, I would say it's going to be Adesanya. I think if there is a finish, it's going to be a knockout in the 4th round by Adesanya. I think that Whittaker will do well for the first few rounds. I think he'll land a few takedowns, but towards the end of the fight, I think Adesanya...
Bad take. Horrible take right there. This is before I was really starting to catch on to Cruz Modizzi, because keep in mind, he hadn't fought Cannonier and he hadn't had that Whittaker rematch yet. This is before the Whittaker rematch. I was saying, as the fight goes on, I could see Izzy starting to snowball and do better. But I was, again, this is before we kind of found out about Cruz Modizzi.
He's basically going to start to really do well defending the takedowns. I think he's going to pick up his volume. I think Whittaker's leg is going to get chewed up.
Can't see, that's the thing about predicting MMA. You don't always know. You don't always know. You don't always know. Anyway, guys, that is my first ever video.